What type of perverted person are you? I want to know right now.
An angry father confronting the woman who allegedly sexually abused his 13-year-old son.
You are a monster. You are a pedophile. You're a child molester. Do you understand me?
On the other end of that phone call, Brittany Zamora, their son's 6th grade teacher at Las Brisas Academy Elementary School in Goodyear, Arizona.
Why do you say that?
Oh, see, I'm a lot smarter than you.
Not long after, Zamora was arrested.
Officer has a body cam on him as well.
The 27-year-old pulled over and put in handcuffs, charged with sexual abuse after allegedly carrying on a secret relationship with one of her students.
Laura, did you have an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old boy, one of your students?
It wasn't that trove of handwritten notes that would uncover the alleged abuse. Instead, the boy's parents discovered illicit cell phone conversations by using a free app called Sentry. It monitors keywords and one day flagged repeated use of the word baby.
I saw at the bottom that it had Mrs. Zamora Instagram profile. I told my husband and we looked it over.
Dad confronted his son. The child explaining during this interview with investigators, which was blurred to protect his identity.
Like, he came home and he was like, come to my bedroom. I said, yes, sir. And he was like, who are you texting? And then he showed me the text messages. And he's like, you have one chance to tell me you don't lie to me.
The parents in this case did all the right things. They had an open and honest dialogue with their child. They monitored their child's cell phone usage. They realized that something was very different with their child, and they immediately contacted both the school and the police department.
Now, a year later, the case once again making headlines after the videos and documents went public. This case, part of a disturbing reality. The U.S. Department of Education estimates that 4.5 million students, or 1 in 13, experience sexual misconduct at the hands of a school employee sometime between kindergarten and 12th grade.
Culturally, we have this misconception if someone's a hot teacher and it's a young boy, this is something they want and that it's a positive. And that, in fact, is not the case. Studies show that a violation of trust, especially when it's a teacher, can be very damaging psychologically.
A 35-year-old teacher who had sex with a 13-year-old 6th grader sentenced to 80 days in prison.
The teacher-student affair has made headlines before, most famously with Mary Kay Letourneau. Back in 1997, the married teacher pleaded guilty to 2 counts of rape for sexually abusing her 12-year-old student, Vili Falau. She and Falau would go on to marry and have 2 children.
A surprise ending in the case against a Florida teacher who had sex with a student.
In 2004, 23-year-old Deborah LaFave was busted in Florida for having sex with a 14-year-old student. She pleaded guilty to less serious offenses and served no time in jail. Like many other convicted teachers, she did have to register as a sex offender.
One of the most damaging things about these cases of child sex crimes is the power dynamic. So the fact that you have this almost parental figure grooming you and abusing you can have lifelong ramifications on the child victim.
In the Arizona case, officials say Zamora began illicit communications with the 13-year-old boy, a student in her class, by using a school messaging app.
She said to text her so she wouldn't be bored. And I said, hi, Miss Zamora, and then she texted back, hi, and then we just started texting.
But he says the messages kept up and soon turned explicit.
I don't remember how it got really intense, but we would flirt and say she would be like, oh, MG, I love you, and I would tell her I'd love her too. And then she would talking about how she wanted to do stuff with me, and I would tell her that I wanted to do that too.
The boy says things escalated to sexual touching during class while other students watched videos. Then he says one night while the alleged victim and his siblings were sleeping over at their grandparents' house, they met up outside school.
And she was all like, let me come over so I can show you how much I love you. And she was all like, where is your grandparents' house? I'm like, oh, in Tolleson. And then she's like, okay, send me the address, because her husband was fishing.
He says he snuck out and met Zamora in her vehicle.
And I got into the car and she started kissing me, and then she gave me and then I left.
He says it would happen again the next night, only that time it ended with intercourse.
So then you said that she got on top of you. Mm-hmm. And whose idea was that?
Hers.
Hers. So what was she saying to you?
She's just telling me to relax.
On one occasion, another student allegedly acted as a lookout. That child also interviewed by police.
Was Mr. Morris saying anything?
No, they're just doing it. It was very uncomfortable. So that's why the second day they're doing stuff, I just left the room.
This friend says the alleged victim confided in him, begging him to keep it secret.
Like, they're texting dirty stuff. Like on Instagram, they text dirty stuff.
Parental control apps are on the rise, now a big business projected to reach $9.5 billion by 2023. Apps like Family Time and WebWatcher tracking mobile activity and blocking racy sites. These parents using one such app to discover those text messages. They say afterwards they received that surprise call from Zamora herself, which they recorded.
Can you explain to me? Can we meet, to talk about this? Is there something we can settle out, outside?
Oh yeah, that's what we can do. So I can give you a chance to do it to some other kid. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. No, Ms. Zamora, do me a favor. Do not call me back again. Do you understand me? Make sure you tell your husband what's going on.
He's right here. Can he talk to you?
Zamora even put her husband on the phone to defend her.
Hey, man.
Hey, don't say hey man to me. You got a monster. If I was you, you stupid I'd leave her.
Man, listen.
Listen to me. I am not going to settle outside of court. There's not enough money you can possibly offer me to settle this. Get that.
The next day, police cameras recorded the meeting between the boy's parents, school officials, and law enforcement.
The school resource officer.
Both parents clearly emotional.
Have you done anything with your teacher? Did you have sex with your teacher?
Mm-hmm.
He said yes.
He said yes. Okay.
His childhood is already gone, right? He's 13.
We tend to think of women as safe and nurturing, especially when they're teachers. Abuse is abuse. It does not matter what gender is committing it.
Zamora was arrested and charged with 8 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor, 2 counts of child molestation, and 1 count of transmitting obscene material. She pleaded not guilty.
You ready? Come on out. Have you go ahead and face the wall for me? And just put your hands behind your back.
I wanted you to explain, how this came to happen.
Can I wait to have an attorney?
You can. Is that what you want? Okay. All right.
Will I be going home today?
No.
I'm little. They're gonna tear me apart.
In a raid on Zamora's classroom, investigators say they found dozens of notes from the boy to his teacher, many on brightly colored Post-its or scraps of notebook paper. The childish handwriting spelling out messages like, "You're so sexy," and "You just look really cute right now."
Very often the teachers are very popular and very well liked. So they use that as a way to seduce and to appear safer than they actually are. But the studies show that if they were put in the same situation of teaching, they're likely to reoffend.
I would love to go home.
For now, Brittany Zamora remains in Maricopa County Jail. She surrendered her state teaching certificate in December. An attorney for Brittany Zamora did not return our request for comment.
Shocking new details are emerging about a 6th grade teacher accused of having sex with her 13-year-old student. Texts allegedly sent to the teen by elementary school teacher Brittany Zamora were just released by prosecutors. "OMG, LOL, you're so cute, baby. I wish you could have stayed after with me," she wrote. He answered, "Me too. I wish we could just hang out together whenever we wanted. Ah, baby, I know what you mean. You're all I think about. You will be my wife one day in this crazy life." She wrote back, "I'll give you whatever you want, baby." The 27-year-old teacher allegedly met the student for sex on 4 occasions and sent him nude selfies.
She's not just having a sexual relationship with him, but she's professing her love for him. It's truly strange and bizarre.
Lawyer Russ Richelsoff represents the young man's parents, who are suing the school district outside Phoenix.
We've seen videos of the student, of the 6th grader interacting with Brittany Zamora, and the way that Brittany Zamora is interacting with him is clearly, while it's not sexual in nature, It's clearly inappropriate.
The teacher is married. Her husband, Daniel, who works for a nuclear power company, posted this video showing how he proposed to her after going skydiving in 2015.
Our bride group, Mr. and Mrs. Zamora.
They were married that same year. In one text, the 6th grade student warned the teacher, "Your husband gonna flip out."
Now from the 12 News I-Team, hours of recorded police interviews released to 12 News, detailing evidence in the case of Brittany Zamora. She's the former 6th grade teacher accused of sexually abusing one of her students.
And tonight you'll hear from the parents of that 13-year-old student. His mother and father received a call from the teacher. You can imagine how alarmed they were after they discovered sexually explicit text messages on their son's phone.
Team 12's Anthony Mejia takes us inside that explosive phone call.
Caribe Mark, we do want to warn you, what you're about to hear may be considered disturbing. We've also altered the voices of the team's parents to protect their identities.
I don't care what you want to. What type of perverted person are you? I want to know right now.
A father demanding a response from his son's 6th grade teacher, 28-year-old Brittany Zamora.
You're a child molester. Do you understand me? No.
Why do you say that?
Oh, see, I'm a lot smarter than you.
Can we meet, to talk about this? Is there something we can settle out, outside?
Oh yeah, that's what we can do, so I can give you a chance to do it to some other kid. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. No. And make sure you tell your husband what's going on.
He is right here. Can he talk to you?
Oh yeah, put your husband on the phone.
She's done so much, and she made a huge mistake. The biggest mistake of anybody could ever make in the whole entire world. But think about, God preaches forgiveness, man.
Your wife decided to be a monster and prey on a child. She scarred my son mentally. Do you understand what a 13-year-old boy did? Having sex with a teacher? Do you get that at all? Do me a favor. Do not call this number back again. The next time you'll hear from me will be in court.
But hours later, the teen's parents call Zamora back with detectives in the room.
I just don't know why you did this.
Honestly, I just got really close after I think everything went down. We were like, oh, how could that happen? And then.
Now, Zamora is facing charges for sexual misconduct with a minor. She is expected back in court tomorrow morning, and the boy's family has filed a lawsuit against the Liberty Elementary School District and Zamora's husband, claiming they knew about the sexual abuse and didn't stop it. We're live in the Alert Center. Antonia Mejia, 12 News.
All right, Anthony. All right.